You found me. I was hiding. Okay. I'm ready. I'm in. Hi there, Leslie Plazz, Zazoo Plazz, July 7th, 2024. Here for my weekly Zazoo Plazz report. I'm really getting into this, can you tell? I'm getting into the vacation mode, folks. I got my beach hat. It says do not disturb. See that? It's my Gen X vacation hat. I'm all set. Got my tropical shirt on. I got some I got my white shorts. See that? And I was just reflecting today. I'm going to deviate from my remarks for a moment. I went outside. I took a few pictures, but it was buggy and there was some bird going. So I came back in. Plus, I was running out of charge on my phone. So I think I'm going to keep my hat on for a little bit. No, I'll take it off. Okay, that's better. Should I keep it on? I'm going to keep it on a little bit. Okay. It's funny, isn't it? Isn't it a great hat? So I'm going to pretend I'm here with my aqua couch. So I'm definitely in a creative vibe, tropical beach vibe today. Now I'll take it off. That's better. That's better. So I can, receive. Yeah. So what was I going to talk about? Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was going to. I was putting on my white shorts today, and I was thinking that how, especially as women, I think maybe not so much for guys, but when we were growing up, my mother's generation, particularly, like my mother and my mother-in-law, starting in my youngest memories, just as a kid, watching my mother, get dressed. Clothes were a big thing. It was a big thing. How you presented yourself to the world, and the whole thing would be, there were these fashion trends. We were slaves to them. The fashion police, right? How many women can relate to this? The whole, you can't wear white before Memorial Day or even, after that and after Labor Day. So God forbid you were caught, out on the day after Labor Day wearing white. Now, my mother-in-law, I think she had a pair of white pants. I think it was older than me. All right. Yeah, so therefore this theme today, and I love her, but okay, all right. So the nuns would have me go to confession for that, but I figure if I'm going to hell, hell is a state of mind, and I'm having way too much fun, so I must be on the right track. I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. Okay, I've got I've got a lot of credit built up. So I think I'm going to be okay. Despite the fact that I laugh at some things that I really shouldn't be laughing at, and I enjoy it a little bit too much, I think I'm good. All those years of Catholic school and teaching CCD, I think I've got a little, it's, kind of like I went to buy something on Amazon, and I said, oh man, it's going to be like $50, but okay, whatever. I get to the checkout and it says, you have a $56 gift card. And and I owed like $1 or something. And it's kind of like that. I envision, this is one of my themes, folks. I think about things like this a lot. Like, am I going to hell or am I going to heaven? And, I think it's all in how you feel in the moment. If you're having a really good time, you're probably in heaven. if you're saying, you know, talking crap about people and, you know, in order to hurt somebody, then you're going to hell, you know. But if your intention is for laughter or to, you know, in such a way that it's not, you know, that your intent is to uplift people and you're not slander, you know, you're not dragging somebody's good names through the mud. That's why I changed the names in my Zazoo Plazz stories. When I first was coming out with them, everybody who knew me was afraid. Like, they're like, I'm afraid to read this book, you know, because they were thinking, my ex-husband's family, you know, he had this uncle who, you know, there were like 10 kids in the family. His father was the second youngest. And, you know, one of the older brothers who was like in World War II, they were all in World War II. And then my father-in-law came along in like 1932 when he was Korean War. But one of the older brothers, who was like some kind of minister, you know, went missionary, he released some kind of tell-all book, you know, but he didn't disguise any of the names, and he kind of went full on, you know, against this one did this to this one, and this one did that, you know. And my husband was hurt by it because, you know, his father was hurt by it, and, you know, oh, Uncle so-and-so, you know, did you write a book like Uncle so-and-so? I said, no, it's not like it. It's not like that. It's funny stories about, you know, funny things the kids said and how I made lamb some night and my kid, well, I'll let you read the book for that story as to what happened. But, you know, I'm famous for my kitchen fails. So I don't see how that hurts anybody, telling you about things I did that really didn't work out the way I thought. My intention is to help you. See? So this is my theme today, okay? This is, you know, about the highway to hell. ACD, I'm just giving you a little hint there about what the song for the week might be. It's not that, but perhaps the band of the week. Mostly guys of my generation, you know, metal band fans, hard rock. My husband was his ex-husband was, when I was married to him, he liked AC/DC, you know, because, well, a couple reasons. Most guys did back in the 80s, you know, that kind of music. And plus he's an electrical engineer. So, you know, a lot of their songs have to do, like, there's a song or an album called Voltage. You know, a lot of it, the concept of AC/DC and the electrical current, but, you know, it's all spiritual stuff. You know, Uranus, the planet Uranus, has to do with, you know, it's like lightning. It's like sudden bursts of, you know, insight. And you know, the spirit, it's all electrical. They can prove it. It comes down through your head, runs all through your body. What do you think the nervous system is, right? When our boys are growing up, I just remember this. Oh, it's so cute. We bought them, I think, for Christmas or whatever. My husband wanted to get them this. They had these little, this is cute. They had these toy electrical circuit sets, you know, and they were not that young. Maybe, you know, maybe when they were late elementary school, middle school. No, even before middle school, we got them. Maybe they were like 7 or 8, but it was for kids. You know, they couldn't get, it's not like Operation where you could, you know, get a zap. This is educational. They would have like plastic parts with metal things on them, and they could form different circuits. There was like this, you know, it was a game type board that had, you know, slots in it, and you could arrange the circuits in different ways, you know, and then somehow it was like a battery powered thing, and then things would light up and bells would go off, and, you know, they wouldn't get hurt, but they could see, you know, how things flowed, how the changes they made would change the, you know, how the energy flowed. And I thought that was really, they loved those things. They had, I think there was like a junior kit and a more advanced kit that we got them. which was really, some of the toys that we bought them were really, really worked in terms of getting them into science. Both of them had it, mostly the younger one. The older one had more of an interest in engineering, so that's where he went to school for computer, software development and stuff. He was into it. The younger one was more into biology, so he's into forestry now. Fire. Anything to do with fire. He's an Aries, right? The older one's at Virgo. So he liked more cerebral things, like computer games and, Pokemon. And, the electrical stuff was a big hit with him because he didn't have to get dirty. The younger one, he was into it. But, he liked to build the Lego kits. He liked to make, play and goopy, dirty. The dirtier the better. The goopier the better. He's definitely a rock punk kind of kid. He liked to make noise and such a boy. I'm such a boy mom though. I love that stuff. If I had girls, I wouldn't have known what to do with them. My cousin had girls. She was all into the pink girly stuff. As kids, I liked the boy stuff and she liked the girly stuff, and we didn't overlap much, Anyway, so I digress. But anyway, so yeah, those are things I wanted to talk about. I luck out because sometimes what I do is I put things off, and then right, and then I don't know why, but then something comes through and it's better because I played hard to get. It's better. I put it off getting the AAA auto thing, and I said, why? I'm just not feeling it. So I get this thing in the mail this week. It says, oh, well, we noticed that you haven't, signed up for AAA, since I got off all my, our joint stuff from being married, I'm having to, get things. And my dad's like, oh, you should get AAA because, you're a woman driving around. I'm like, what the hell difference does that make? My minivan broke down in Yukon. Was it last year? I was going to pick up my kid, and the car just died. It just died on Route 195 going up to Yukon to pick up my kid for spring break in March. And I was at a traffic light, and there was this long line of, I think I've told this story before, but the kind parents behind me actually helped push me to safety. I'm lucky. I got armies of angels with armor following me around, archangels. So somehow I, got a tow down the street. It was 5 minutes from when I was single once, I got a flat tire coming off the highway by my condo, and I just rolled into the gas station. So anyway, I said, I don't need AAA. I got archangels, AA. But, whatever. And my dad says, oh, yeah, but, what, you might get discounts and this and that. And I'm not going to, whatever. So then I get this thing in the mail. Normally it's like 70-something bucks. It's like, oh, we noticed you haven't renewed. How about you get it for 57 bucks? I'm like, maybe, okay. Maybe I'll take a trip because I can get discounts on travel. So instead of looking at it as, I'm going to need it in case the car doesn't. No, I'm thinking maybe I'll get it in case I want to take a trip. Maybe I'll plan a trip at a place where I get a discount. Like, okay, see? That's the way you have to think. My oldest son's like, oh yeah, can you put me on as your... No, because you're not a dependent. You don't live in my house. So he tried to get on there. But my laundry got fixed. Monday, it still wasn't fixed. Tuesday, before 4th of July, it still wasn't fixed, So I walked into the office, just casually, very nice. And the lady behind the desk, she's like, the lady who gives the tours and kind of runs the place. Very nice woman. But the fact that I just showed up there, she's like, is everything okay? You like your place? I said, oh, I love it here. I just noticed that the laundry money card machine was still not working. Was there kind of a plan about that? She said, oh, okay, yeah, we're getting somebody in there tonight. So I went out. I said, nice to see you. I went out, I did some errands. I went and got my trail mix and stuff. Then I came back. It's like an hour later, there was this truck with the guy there. They fixed it already, like an hour after I went in there. And I get this email, it's all fixed. I have to, see, that's what I mean by when I bring out the Zazoo, Leslie, if I'm just being me, things, I put up with things. It's when I put on my cape, my apron cape, and I go in there as Zazoo, right? It's like, ugh, and things get done. I don't have to be in that state all the time. That's why I'm part-time, Most of the time I'm just taking care of things and being nice. Time mom. But occasionally I have to put on, the big girl boots, sneakers, and go get things done for other people, And then I benefit, you see. So that's what I want to talk about today. I see, okay. So I went and looked at my readings, and the major themes were prophets being disrespected and resisted, all right? And and perfecting our strength through trials, and by being weak, we are made strong. I know it doesn't make sense, but so this is one of my favorite things, because I feel this. Mark chapter 6, Jesus goes home, right? And everyone's like, he's talking, and he's speaking his truth, and everyone goes, oh, isn't that Jesus, Joseph and Mary's son? What does he know? The prophet is without honor in his native place. Boy, do I feel that. Several times, my mom's funeral, there were, my parents' anniversary parties, I'd go and I'd have things to say. I want to get up. It's my parents. I want to say something. And then my cousins would get up there. They know who they are. And, yeah, they're family. But I can't tell you how many times, how frustrating it was that they would get up there and act like my mother and it's as if they were talking about their own parents. My cousin got up at my mother's funeral, and she's, and maybe she had a closer relationship with my own mother than I did, because they were born a day apart. And I've seen that, and I've come to understand that. But initially it's like, I wanted to say those things, but I wasn't allowed to say those things. It's almost like nobody thought that I had anything important to say and I did, I did have important things to say, but I don't think that even today when I say them, they're not going to hear. It's not going to land in the same way as, if I leave Connecticut and I go to live somewhere else where they've never seen me before, I think I would have more. I've always felt that perfect strangers have appreciated me more than my own family. I went off to college, I met new people. I was able to, find people of like mind when I went up to Boston. I went to college, I went to grad school. It's always when I was like away from home, traveling in Spain, I would feel like, I would, my thoughts and my ideas were, and even online now, when I go, not on my own page, of course, where I have 208 followers. Oh, God, my kid. My oldest son he's texting me. He's trying to figure out how he can get on my AAA. But I didn't plan on talking about this today. But so Jesus said anyway that he was unable to perform any mighty deed, just laying hands on a few people, to cure them. But while he was home, he was unable to perform any mighty deed. I heard mighty deed, and I thought, dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Dirty deeds, and they're done dirt cheap. Yeah. So, yeah. So I was reading the Bible, and I thought of an AC/DC song. Who does that? I do. Anyway, so yeah, my mother used to say her favorite expression when she was out talking, she'd be out socializing with people, and then we'd be in the car going home, and she'd go, "Who does so and so think he is? He thinks he ice cream." She used to say that, and that's like the number one thing I remember my mother saying. And then she would say things like, "Oh, so and so told you to go and, do something risky, go play and, whatever. Would you do it? Would you listen to them?" She would say that all the time, like, don't. And if I went somewhere, like an astrology class or something, she'd be like, "Did you learn anything?" And I'd say, "Yeah, well, yeah, really," and she'd say, "There you go, you didn't learn anything." So I think some of the themes of today were, St. Paul is saying that he found himself, even though he's had all these great revelations, right? He's become elated, but he said the trials have brought him down to earth, right? And grounded him, because our ego, you can get too big for your britches, right? So God sends you a couple of things just to even you out a little bit, right? It's almost like the concept of when you're down, God will lift you up. The universe will lift you up. And if you're too far up, they'll bring you down. See? Because nature seeks a balance, right? The universe seeks to balance. We live in a world of polarity, right? Up, down, black, white, male, female, right? All these things. And it's kind of complicated. But if you went off in any one direction too much, it's no good, right? You need yin and yang. So there's this thing about revenge, right? So the first thing, when somebody does something bad to you, right? The lower instinct is to say, you want to get them, you want to show them, So I know most people don't get deep meanings from AC/DC songs, but they, like everybody else who writes a song, the brothers, Angus and Malcolm Young and Bon Scott wrote this song, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. It's very loud music. They're one of the loudest bands in rock. Released, I think, 76 in Australia, not till 81 in the US. It got up to number 4 on the rock charts, but it was number 24 on the VH1 40 Greatest Metal Songs, 31st Best Hard Rock Song. So, so I think, like anything, these songs, you can look at them from a spiritual point of view. That's what I do. That's my specialty. So he's saying, if somebody's, the headmaster is, giving you trouble, people, people aren't treating you well, and this and that. And he has all these specialties, right? The guy who's singing the song, he's a hitman. And he's talking about concrete shoes and all these, neckties and all these, bad things. But, I think I think what it's saying is pick up the phone is, talk to God. In other words, don't try to take revenge on yourself, right? On people, because it'll only hurt you, right? Just leave it alone. Turn to God, right? Cast your eyes to Him. It's one of the things. Cast your eyes toward God. It costs nothing, right? To leave it up, leave it to God to exact balance and justice, right? He'll take care of the balancing out. So if they try to hurt, anybody tries to hurt you, you're doing God's work for you, and they try to hurt you, they just bring it on themselves. In other words, the universe is the hitman, and all the planets represent, fire, air, water, earth. Concrete shoes, that's earth, right? Uranus is voltage. In other words, the planets in your chart, right, astrologically, will determine how you're going to get your, just what's coming to you for what you do. Because for every action, there's a reaction, right? I can't get too much into this today. But, you just keep doing your thing and shining your light, and everything will be balanced out, right? It says they got sued. They have this 36, 24, 36 in the song. It's like a phone number, and they say, hey, after it. And this couple sued the band because it was their phone number that ended in 8, but it was a big misunderstanding. So it's one of those silly things. I love that, like rock trivia. But anyway, so it seems to me, Joan Jett did a version in 1990. Hers is good, but I think the AC/DC one, because it was their song, I think it had more like edge to it. Joan Jett, I love her. There are other Joan Jett songs that I think are more of my favorites than that particular one. But she did a good job. So who's the guy? I would always say, who's the guy who used to wear the little shorts in AC/DC? That's Angus Young. He wears like this little schoolboy cut uniform with, shorts and stuff. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall, that schoolboy kind of vibe. I'm just feeling that this week. I don't know. So I don't know that I ever knew that this was an AC/DC song, but now I do. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was an Ozzy Osbourne song. I don't know. But now I know. Definitely AC/DC is kind of guy music, but, I like it. He definitely has a distinctive voice, the guy, the lead singer. They've had a couple. I think there's only two of the original members left. No, well, the drummer, he's taking some time off, I guess. He's helping his girlfriend, so that's nice. So, I mean, Dirty Deeds, that's the last thing I have to say. The title was based on a cartoon character called Dishonest John in a cartoon called Beanie and Cecil. Yes, Dishonest John used to had a calling card, business card that said Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And that's where he got it. So, I mean, this is how you get inspired, right? Cartoons. Does that sound familiar? My alter ego is a cartoon. So anyway, Yeah, so I'm gonna, now that I've done my report, I can go and continue with my staycation. And, you know, if you're looking for me, I'll be here playing it low key and going to have my, oh, I made shrimp and broccoli. It was so good. Hoisin shrimp. Until next week.